I was sitting on the floor with my legs loosely crossed and my hands resting on my knees. My spine was straight, my chin slightly tucked in, so I could feel a pleasant stretching sensation at the back of my neck. My gaze was trained on a point 4 or 5 feet in front of my nose. I breathed in, lips pursed as if sucking through a straw, paused, then loosened my lips and breathed out, drawing in the muscles behind my belly button. 1. Then repeat, 2, 3, counting at the end of each out-breath, noticing the thoughts that drifted like floaters across the vitreous humor of my consciousness, before letting them go, returning my attention to my breath in time for the next count, 4, before inevitably a floater thought snagged and I lost track of what number I was on. Back to the start. Meditation as snakes and ladders. I wondered if it was especially bad, especially unmindful, that the thoughts I'd been instructed to note and let pass were not really that random, but rather concerned what I was looking forward to doing when this session was over, chiefly not having to note and let go of my thoughts. It was late August on the south coast of Devon. The sessions took place in a light, airy room near the waterfront, with exposed whitewashed walls and a mandala print wall hanging pinned loosely to the ceiling so it billowed in the breeze from the open windows. The sliver of sky I could see above the rooftops was a yearning, cloudless blue. The Indian flute track playing on the hi-fi in the corner was so relaxing that it was hard to object to its blandness, music from the world's mellowest elevator. Smoke rose from an incense burner like the ghost of a hypnotized cobra. In between sessions, retreatants were free to mingle as they pleased, although the atmosphere of quiet reflection tended to discourage this. For the most part, retreat meant retreat, a cordial but firm withdrawal into one's own ambit. Over lunch, I got talking to the one fellow retreatant who seemed less protective of her privacy, who had flipped the implied "do not disturb" sign the others had hung around their necks. Carla was originally from Louisville, Kentucky, with a peroxide crop and a laugh like the first few attempts at starting an outboard motor. What brought her here, I asked. Carla thought for a bit. The chance to take a step back. It's like you're stressed at work, at home, whatever. You are the stress. A couple of days here and the stress doesn't exactly go. You can just look at it from the outside, see how small it is. I can't help feeling it's a bit selfish, though, I said. I mean, I've gone on holiday, haven't I? Without my family. Actually, it's worse than that. I've gone on a holiday dressed up as self-improvement. Carla laughed. I guess. I'm selfish and sanctimonious. But wouldn't you be a worse dad if you didn't give yourself a break now and then? We dads, I thought to myself, were generally pretty good at giving ourselves breaks. Still, I took Carla's point. The idea, it seemed, was to withdraw from the world for a limited period in order to return better able to deal with its trials, to inhabit it better. After lunch, we returned to the mandala print room for a body scan meditation, lying on the floor with our feet slightly apart and a cushion under our heads. Our teacher that afternoon was Yvonne, a woman in her late 30s with a deep tan, a dancer's lithe economy of movement, and an air of vaguely vegan congeniality that repeatedly took me back to my childhood, on the fringes of the hippie-ish self-sufficiency movement in Wales, when I was meant to be focusing my attention on my body. Yvonne's voice was pitched to the music, soft, rhythmic, soothing. Notice the sensations in your body as you breathe. Notice the feeling in your chest, your back, your legs, your feet. Don't worry if your mind wanders. This is not a competition. Simply notice that it has wandered, and bring your attention back to your body. I brought my mind back to my feet, and the weird, hot and cold, tingling sensation I'd had in them since a back operation the previous year. And that was it. I was away again. Mindfulness might not be a competition, but if I couldn't focus for more than 5 seconds, I was surely losing at something. My mind was off on a meander through the streets of its own subjectivity, taking me via my tingly feet and my surgeon's unnerving habit of looking grave before delivering good news to the fact that I promised my wife, before leaving for Devon, that the main thing I was going on retreat to address was my tendency to worry too much, about my health especially, my tendency to ruminate, to catastrophize, to fail to live in the moment, to let my mind wander off in precisely the way it was doing right now, lying on the floor in a Devon yoga studio.